Back again. Unfortunately, COVID's hit, so very little's been done with the car itself. I've been doing a little bit of everything else that I can just fill in time, which means wiring. And I'll show you what I've been doing with the wiring. Well, starting off with the main loom for the dash and the console. It was a bit of a mess, and there was a lot of extra wiring and crap in there that shouldn't have been in there. So what I've done was I've taken everything out that shouldn't be in there and started from scratch and just checked every single circuit so that we know everything's correct and it's only stuff that's there, it's got to be there. The only extra things I put in was a permanent power wire for the radio and an accessory wire and a couple of links in there to hook a few things together, but otherwise all the wiring is all pretty good in the dash, that is. That's the 2-bar console loom, which is fine, it's all tested. The engine loom, it was rather nasty because all the cables in the engine loom were actually solid, they were hard, which is one of the problems I had when I first got the car. It actually stopped a couple of times when we then realised that the wiring was just so hard that it actually broke the wire on the coil and stopped. So that's a new engine loom that I've made up from scratch. Just use the same plastic plug, the socket, and the pins for these, you can actually get them from Blue Wire in South Australia. So that's a new engine loom, so I shouldn't have any more troubles with the engine harness. And that's got everything it should have, and it's all got the correct colour wiring, including the wire to the regulator as well. The other looms are good. The front, the lighting loom, that's it there, and I've got a couple of relays in there for the headlights to save cooking the wiring, but apart from that the rest of the wiring's pretty good with this. So all the cables just been cleaned up with every Prepsol and tidied up. The back loom's good to go to the back of the car, that's all complete. It's got a harness there for the tow bar, which I'm going to pull apart and redo because I don't trust other people's wiring. And I've also got a start relay inbuilt with it as well for the starter to save any troubles with drawing too much current when you try to start the starter and everything. So that's all the wiring complete. And I've also been fiddling with lights. I found some lights, eBay, and they're actually got Lucas in the middle of them. So I thought that'd be nice. But then I discovered that when I tried to put them into the buckets that I've got here for the car, these standoffs were too short, so they just wouldn't fit. The standoff in the bottom is the one it comes standard with. The biggest standoff is the one that I've just actually taken off the old lights, unpicked them from there, and I've bonded them onto the back of these. So now with a bit of luck, it'll sort of look the part. It's Lucas, it's right-hand drive, so it looks the part. And they just take the standard fitting, which would be fine. So that's about all the electrical I've been up to. I've got the bonnet and the boot off at the moment. I'm going to put some paint, just rub them down quickly and put some paint on those. I've got some red paint ordered, and as soon as the red paint gets here, I'm going to actually spray the back of these, and that way we've only got to do one side of them in the spray booth But the red I can probably just do here in the garage, I think. I'm not going to worry about taking to the spray booth to do it because I can't get the car to the spray booth. It might be a little bit of a problem with the police here. The car's now been rubbed down and it's all been blocked off, and it all come up really well, including the lines on the side. The guards are only just clipped on at the moment, but so everything's right with the car now. It's just a matter of waiting till lockdown's finished and I can get up and do some more work on the car and get it all undercoated. Get probably 3 coats of undercoat on. I got plenty of that undercoat for it, so once I get it on there, then I can block it off again and get it right, get it nice and flat. Alright, that's it for the moment. I'll probably, next clip I'll probably do something with the with some red paint. I'll see you soon. Back again, guys. I'll show you what I've been up to this week. Not a real lot, but just fiddling with a few modules and bits and pieces. Still haven't got the car rubbed down. Still in the polyester. I haven't rubbed that back yet to get a good undercoat on it. So I've been fiddling with modules and bits and pieces while we've been waiting. I'll show you what we've been doing. I ended up tidying up the grille, which came up nice. A little bit of a touch up with paint, clean the stainless steel. The badge in the middle wasn't fantastic, so I bought a new insert for that, put that in there. The headlight surrounds, got those done. It was a pity to actually put the black in the middle, but the chrome was so nice and they did such a nice job on them. But that's got a coat of etch on top of the chrome to make the black paint stick, and I've got a satin paint in that. I wasn't sure whether it was satin or flat, but I went with satin. It's got a tiny bit of shine on it, but it's mainly satin finish. The car itself, I've just finished off the grills in the front here. I've cleaned them up completely and put a coat of undercoat on those. The dash, I've cleaned the dash up now. Put a bit of 2-pack undercoat all over that. That's all finished. And while I had the gun going, I finished off in the boot. So that's all undercoated now, and that's ready for GMH black or some such similar thing. I haven't decided what I'm going to throw in there. Probably GMH black. I'm not going to go a full gloss. I'm just going to go probably a semi-gloss like a lot of the other Holden stuff was. So that's all we've done to the car so far. The end of this week I might start to do a panel at a time and block it off and get it nice and flat before we put another coat of undercoat over the top of that polyester. There was one other thing. I bought myself a present. I bought myself a set of wheels, those Monaro look-alike things. Although I've got the right hubcaps for them for the car, but I wasn't sure about going away on trips and doing weekends or a week away and still coming back home with my hubcaps on the car, just in case they disappeared. So I decided if I put some mags on it when I go tripping, I'll do it that way. So I've got 2 sets of wheels now, one with the original hubcaps and one with the mag, so we can stay overnight somewhere. This one's almost ready to, I'm going to put this on a stand, I think, and it's got little stickers on the top. I'm going to put this on a stand and start it up out of the car. I just want to make sure the sump doesn't leak. Everything else should be okay, but you never know with sumps. So I've decided that I might start that up out of the car. Otherwise, if I get a leak in there, I'm going to get it out and it's going to shit me. So I prefer to start it up outside the car, and I've just got to get myself a bell housing to hold the starter motor. That's all. The gearbox is actually in. It should be back this week from the reconditioners, and he's going to do a complete job on the gearbox for me and the new converter as well. So that should be back in the next couple of days, I think. So in the meantime, I'll probably make a little stand to sit on the ground and put a muffler to it and put the radiator in the front, tie it at the front somehow. Okay, so that's about it for the moment. I'll get back to you when I've done some more. See you later. Alright, that might have been a bit of a mistake. I used a fine gun and I didn't get it wet enough. But it was only a second coat just to cover any spots that I'd rubbed through. So it's probably going to be okay. I'll probably just Scotch Brite it before I put a bit of base coat on it. Just a quick explanation why I said that was a mistake when I painted the undercoat under the bonnet and the boot. I actually used a Sardajet 3000 it is, which has got a 1.3 tip in it. Well, I mixed the undercoat light because I thought I'm going to put just a slight coat on this because it's a second coat anyway, just to get it nice and smooth, but as it turns out, there's not enough paint comes out of a 1.3 with the primer, even though I mixed it with a bit of extra thinners. It still came out alright, it's still flat enough, and I'll probably just scotch it, and because it's inside the bonnet of the boot, it won't matter that much. What I normally spray with is an Wider 89 that I bought about 30 years ago, and it's still going, apart from the fact that I think I lent it to somebody and they've actually screwed the tip in and cracked the tip, which means the paint comes out all over the place. Funny. So if anybody's got a tip, and it's a 1.5 tip in this one for an Wider 89, that'd be great, because I can't find one and I still like the gun. And I've done many years ago, I've done base coats and clear coats with a 1.5 tip, which is a little heavy on the paint, but you turn the paint down and it goes on really well if you're careful and don't do too many runs. The Sarda 3000 will be fine to do the base coat and the clear. And I've also got another, I've got a W77, which has got a 2mm tip in it, which is actually good for the undercoat. So the whole car gets done with the 2 anyway. But what I'm really looking for is a paint nozzle, and it's a 1.5 for an Wider 89. So if anybody's got any messages, or anybody knows of where to get them, leave a message for us and I'll have a look. Apart from that, the finish is quite alright. It's not orange pearl at all, because I used that 1.3 tip and made it a little bit lighter, so I'm not going to worry too much about it. I'm just going to scotch that before I put the base coat on and the clear on top of that. It'd come up fine. It just it went on quite slow because of the size of the tip. So that was the reason I said that was a mistake, but it's turned out alright. It's okay, and it's only inside the car. I'm not too worried about that. That'll do for now. Here we are again. I was hoping to show you a little bit of paint, but the paint didn't happen. The red base coat didn't come. I'm having it mixed up from a formula, but the paint suppliers where my son's getting the paint from hasn't come back to him yet, so I've been doing little filling jobs. The only thing that was changed from the other day was I managed to get the gearbox back, so that's all ready to go now. A new converter to go with it. I've been doing little bits and pieces to the car, but really nothing much, just to show you how bored I'm getting. I've actually restored the tow bar that was on it. I'm going to put it back on because it's a genuine Holden turbo, so I'll just put that back on there. I actually did some plating the other day, and I found out all the Utilux clips, so they've all come up nice with that gold plating, and they're all the genuine Australia Utilux ones. So that's for all the pipes, and I've got the bigger pipes. I've got the bigger clamps for those as well in a new kit. And I also painted the bonnet and the boot. I've got a couple of really good coats, thick coats of primer on those, and I'll let those settle down now for a couple of days or a week or so before I touch them again. And they're all ready to go inside and out, or I'll do the inside of those with the red as soon as I get it. I'll probably put that up next. But apart from that, nothing very much else is happening. I'm just filling in now, so I'll make this end of this video, and hopefully by next video we should have some paintwork done. I'll see you then.